What's going on, everybody? This is my first time driving, so I have no clue what's happening. All right, so as you can see, Dan Bag's here. I got John Ackerman with me. We're a little short today.
A little bit.
Duggan is lost. We have no idea where he is. He could have been picked up by the CIA after last week's episode, and he's being held in a holding tank with the sign guy. He could just really be trying to squeeze out a big old turd. And Kevin, we're not even going to get into that. But hey, he's probably the one person that's watching live right now, so who the hell knows? But anyway, right off the top, we're going to kick it off, and we're going to salute a very important person who is celebrating a very important birthday today, and that would be none other than our favorite, John Cena. That's right.
John
Cena's
Cena
birthday was born today. The man, the myth, the legend, the best wrestler turned actor that's out there. That's our guy right there. Happy birthday, John Cena. And also happy birthday to my mom. She shares a birthday with John Cena. So, I mean,
which is fantastic, by the way.
Yeah, legendary. So as a segue off the top, I just want to talk about, John, do you have a transfer station?
Like a trash transfer station? Yeah.
Do they have a swap table?
What the fuck is a swap table?
A swap table. Okay, that's my parents' favorite shopping spot these days. So my parents go to the dump every week. They go to the dump every week, and when they go to the dump, they always check out the swap table. Now, this is used stuff that people no longer want, but they're like, I feel like it's a waste to throw it away, so I'm going to put it on the swap table. My parents take home so much shit off of this swap table. It is ridiculous. And I mean, some of the stuff I look at and I'm like, yeah, I may have taken that. Like my dad found a pretty mint accordion on the swap table. It's just sitting in his basement. But we celebrated my mom's birthday today. So we had pizza and cake at their house. And the cake had swap table candles on it. Candles they found on the fucking swap table. So dump candles, as we say. And on the way home, I was talking to my wife, and I'm like, imagine if we had a transfer station in the town I grew up in, and my mom had access to a swap table when I was a kid. Because I always talk about how, like, my mom basically acted like we were poor growing up. Like, we had knockoff sneakers. We always, I make fun of her because my son's really into color forms. And I was like, oh, I didn't have those. My wife was like, you don't know what color forms are? And I said, no, I have no idea what it is. And then she shows me, and I said, no, I didn't have that. And she's like, you must have had it. And I said, no, we had colon froms. So everything, I just make up fake shit, fake names for things. My son likes squishmallows now. I said, yeah, we had fish fellows, shit like that. But I'm imagine if we had access to a swap table when I was a kid. All the sweet stuff I would have had.
Dude, my mother-in-law, I'm going to be honest, like, you can't let her anywhere near. Like, if she's driving along, she sees something on the side of the road, right? She's liable to pick that shit up. It doesn't matter what it is, right? Like, she brought home this table. She's like, well, I'm going to fix it up, right? It sat outside till it broke apart.
Yeah.
I'm just
now,
like,
does she have a pickup truck?
She has a pickup truck. She also has a new Ford Bronco. So she's liable to pick up whatever shit she sees on the side of the road, and that it's just like right now she has a stick sitting over her sink that she's like, I'm gonna go ahead and put like stained glass leaves on it. I'm like, so hang your fucking stick up, I guess. Like, what are you doing? It's just sitting behind the sink. It's just sitting there, right? And she does this a lot.
A lot. Oh man.
Like she has a tailor's mannequin where like she would go ahead and like put like clothing on to go ahead and cut out. Just in a room. It's just sitting there. It does nothing. She's never sewn anything on there ever.
Is it possessed?
I fucking hope not.
Have you spent the night there?
Yeah, a couple of times. They have
room with the mannequin.
Dude, they have porcelain dolls in their house, right? And it's a fucking no for me, right?
So Ghostbusters Afterlife, the poltergeist that jumps from thing to thing.
Oh yeah,
it would have a fucking field day in that house,
dude. I quite literally at one point they had one of those fucking porcelain dolls sitting on the table in the kitchen, right? And I was staying. This is like way back when, but the wife and I were staying here, staying there, and they had it on the kitchen. So I walked out the door and I went to go hit the bathroom, and that thing was sitting on the kitchen table, looking down the fucking hallway. Dude, I almost pissed my pants on the spot. I was like, "Fuck all that."
I have to imagine that it's the generation. It comes from the fact where their parents lived through the Great Depression, so they're like, nothing can go to waste. So they see something, they're like, I could do something with that. So then they just take it. And they try and figure out something they could do with it, but at the end of the day, can't you
Or
really do stuff with it?
or something breaks and they hold on to it for far too long. Far
Yeah.
too long. Yeah.
Do you get the text messages or your wife with the shit they don't want anymore? Do you want
Yes.
this?
Yes.
Like my mom sent me a slap chop recently. Do you want this? The pampered slap, the pampered chef version of the slap chop. I'm like, my response to it was no. I already have 3 of them. I don't. But I mean, how can you argue me saying that I have 3? I
Right.
can't take it. I can't take it.
I tell her straight out, I go, no, I don't want that. You should probably throw it in the trash.
She gets mad if you say no.
Oof.
Well, I guess it's going to the swap table then. Yeah, put it on the swap table because you probably fucking got it off the swap table. There's been times where she's taken stuff from the swap table and then put it back on the swap table.
That's amazing.
Yeah. But the town I live in here in Merrimack, our dump has an entire fucking trailer. And I was saying to my wife, I'm like, maybe next time I go to the dump, I'll have to take a look. Take a look at that. See what's in there. Just to see, like, is it worth actually going for a visit every once in a while?
I was
I
telling
have curbside pickup, so I don't go there that often.
I was telling Kevin, right, that when I went to the dump to that transfer station that's near my place, right, there was a guy who got rid of a set of clubs there.
Yeah.
Right. And I was looking at it, I was thinking about taking them. I wasn't 100% sure. There was I think it was like a full set of irons that were in there. I don't know if they were any good or anything else like that. But we had the bag included. And some dude comes by and just goes, yoink, grabs it, just throws it right in the back of his car. And I was like, son of a bitch, I should have grabbed them when I had the chance.
Yeah, that's like my wife shops a lot at TJ Maxx and Home Goods and stuff. It's like if you see something that you think you like, you have to buy it.
Oh yeah.
Because it'll be gone then. All right. I think we beat this horse to death. Boomers are weird, man.
I hear you.
Let's see. We'll start with this topic. Deadpool and Wolverine trailer dropped yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday. And if you haven't checked out the trailer reaction Duffy did, take a look at that. It's pretty good. Especially if you haven't seen the trailer yet. Because you'll see the trailer, you'll watch him react to it, and you'll get his first takes on it. But I gotta tell you, A, the vulgarity, loving it. B, so many Easter eggs, and people are pulling this thing apart, trying to figure out who is there, what's going on, how it ties to the comics itself and stuff. And a couple things that I've seen is when Deadpool and Wolverine are walking kind of down that street with the 2 storefronts behind them. It's Liefeld's Just Feet, which is kind of a dig on the creator of Deadpool or the co-creator of Deadpool not being able to draw feet correctly. The other thing that I've seen is the giant Ant-Man skeleton in the suit isn't the Scott Lang Ant-Man, it's the Hank Pym Ant-Man. And that ties back to the comics because they call it Pym's Folly. And then just like kind of a listing of the people that the mutants that are standing outside of there. One is the lady with the adamantium claws from
Lady Deathstrike.
X2?
Yep, Lady Deathstrike.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Azazel from Days of Future Past.
Yep.
The red Nightcrawler guy.
That's correct.
And then a couple other people that I'm like looking at them, I'm like, I don't remember seeing you.
We did see the I don't remember her name. The one that's all the way to the left. You did see her. I want to
She's
say it
got
was
the
either
face tattoo.
yes. She's
Okay.
either in. I want to say she's in X3.
Hmm.
She's one of the people in the camp. I want to say that. Don't quote me. Who
Do you
else do
think
we
she
have there?
has similar powers to Bishop because of the face tattoo?
I'm not 100%. I can't remember what her power set was.
I'll be honest, I'm a little pissed at how, I mean, Bishop's powerful, and the only time he shows up is
Days of Future Past.
Days of Future Past, and it's such just like a nothing kind of throwaway character with he never actually gets to do anything.
Well, it's interesting how they go ahead and they put the Sentinels together in Days of Futures Past, just in general, is they don't make them like your typical Sentinel that you would see in, say, X-Men 97, right?
Yeah.
Which, if you all haven't watched that, you should probably watch that. It's fantastic. Can't recommend it enough. But it's more like they're Nimrods, where they're like an advanced form of Sentinel that you're seeing in Days of Future Past, where they kind of just overload them and they beat the bag out of them, right? And it is what it is. But again, getting back to X-Men to Wolverine and Deadpool, or Deadpool and Wolverine, I like the fact that you're looking at a Wolverine that I don't think that anybody else has seen, just in general.
Very true.
And the fact that he has performance anxiety for Wolverines over 40.
That was a good one.
Yep.
Now, that's definitely the TVA, right? He's
Yes.
laying on the floor. Okay.
Yep.
So we have the TVA there. And then at the end of it, you see the little sparkly swirl. So there is some sorcerer.
Yep. That's well. You got to think they either got like that ring, which they can't imagine either of them know how to use, right?
Yep.
Or they have some Doctor Strange ish, or Wong that's going ahead and showing them, getting them out of the.
As you were saying that, I feel like it's totally a Wong thing to be involved in this. Just kind of like he's here. Wong,
I mean,
he's everywhere.
It's entirely possible that you have Doctor Strange that's reality jumping, and
Very
because
true.
he's going, because of the last movie,
Yep.
it's entirely possible that that's the case. You also have, I don't know, you have the possibility that there's a Doctor Strange that's in that dump ground universe just in general.
Third Eye Doctor Strange.
Yep.
I hated that one. So bad.
But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it. It looks like it's fantastic. The fights look great. The sleeveless Wolverine yellow suit looks awesome on Hugh Jackman.
Do you think we're going to have the mask at all with the big wings?
It's entirely
Or do you
possible.
think he's just going to be yellow suit, no mask? Say
It's entirely possible, right? And again, I had read this on a rumor mill thing, so this is not substantiated at all. But it's also possible that you're going to see like a Laura Kenny, or I think that's her name, right? X-23, where she actually has the Wolverine like full on actual mask on instead of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine Logan. So it's entirely possible. But because you're going to see, from what you understand, is that you're going to see multiple styles of Wolverine, like Patch and everybody else,
right.
Along the way. So if that is the case, right, then I think that it's going to shape up to be a fantastic movie where you get to see a whole lot of different things going on there.
I mean, I'm really hoping that they can get Daniel Radcliffe as Patch.
I hope, yeah, that'd actually be fantastic. I'm not gonna lie, I would love it.
Casting.
Yeah. I'm still kind of hoping that you'll see different styles of Deadpool as well through some of these universes.
Well, you will. There's in the trailer. There's the one scene where he's holding Dogpool.
I must have missed that part.
I mean, he's standing right there and he's holding it. And it's licking his face.
Yeah, I must have not have put
that
together.
That's Dogpool.
Yeah,
I know that he's there, and I believe there's a Lady Pool.
Yep.
And then there's Kid Pool.
And what about Head Pool?
I don't know about that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying what I've looked up. What I've looked up, I know that there's Dog Pool, Lady Pool, and Kid Pool. But I don't know about anybody else. But I mean, it looks like it's going to be just absolute mayhem. Absolute mayhem. And the best part is the trailer didn't give really anything away. Show who your big bad is. Okay, we got that. Cassandra
Yeah.
Nova.
Yep.
Apparently the evil twin of Dr. Charles Xavier.
Yes.
So she has similar powers to him, which are on display in the trailer, but again, doesn't really tell you much. You don't know why he needs Wolverine's help. Deadpool, why he needs Wolverine's help. They don't really tell you that.
I
mean,
I imagine they're
brings
going to prune the universe. You know what I mean?
probably. And are those TVA agents that Deadpool's kicking their ass? Very gory, kind of 2-second scene where he kind of shoots like 3 guys in a row.
Right. Yeah, I believe that they are. But it's up for debate whether or not they are an offshoot of the TVA that you've seen with Loki at the end of Loki season 2, or if it's something else, like a.
So you're thinking it may be the TVA where Loki shows up and nobody knows who he is?
It's possible, right?
Okay.
Or it could be a rogue cell of TVA that they're
Mhm.
still trying to prune the timeline along the way. Because you still have some rogue elements that are definitely out there. Like Miss Time is still out there, right?
Mhm.
And
You mean
so
Miss
is
Minutes?
Miss Minutes. I'm sorry, that's what her name is, Miss
Tara
Time.
Strong.
We have a couple of comments from a person named Duffy Geeks Out, saying that
That
talk
fucking
about
guy.
that fucking guy. Well, he quotes Lady Deathstrike again when we're talking about the lady with the nails. All right, Lady Deathstrike. And he said Batmite.
Batmite?
Yeah.
What the fuck is a Batmite?
I don't know what the fucking Batmite is either. I don't remember.
Oh, now we gotta
Um,
Google this shit.
Duffy, thanks for tuning in. I know that you couldn't be here tonight, and but that's fantastic you tune in. Thank you so much. I know we're doing a fantastic job, and I know that we crush it all the time. So keep at it, kid. Just know that you're in good hands.
And Batmite looks fucked. Why do you say Batmite? It's like a tiny Batman.
That's a DC thing.
Yeah.
Are you sure, Duffy? I don't know if
I don't know. He's not here to defend himself, so I'm going to say,
Yeah.
you know what? Fuck that guy. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah,
They're not going to blend DC and Marvel. Are you out of your mind?
That'd be crazy.
Yeah. So the other real question I have is, do you think finally Deadpool movies are going to kind of bridge into the actual MC universe? And not be that MCEU where it's like it exists, but we're not really there. Because
I hope so.
The
I
first
really do.
two, they've kind of been poking and prodding, kind of getting people there. That one scene in Deadpool 2 where they close the door and you have people from the Sony side.
Right. I hope so. And here's the reason why I hope so, right? Is that I think that you have a lot of great interactions that you could have with Ryan Reynolds and the actual like Marvel characters. But the ones that I want to see are, and this is again, this is just another buddy cop type of thing, just like this one will be to a degree, right? Is Spider-Man and Deadpool, where Deadpool goes ahead and shows up in front of Spider-Man and says, "I'm you from the future," right? And crushes his reality and just fucks with him, right?
Just takes the mask off and is like, boop.
I'm saying I'm you from the future, and he's like, "Oh my god," So there's definite opportunities that you can bring in. You could definitely make this very, very interesting. Again, there's a lot of evidence or rumor to sit there and substantiate. I think Duffy has talked about this before as well. That you're moving towards secret wars just in general, right? And if that's the case, you're going to have a great cast of people to go ahead and move forward with.
Yeah,
But
Feige says no cocaine.
No cocaine.
Yep.
It's too bad.
And they have a list. They know all of the street names for it too.
Yeah, which is interesting that they go ahead and go down that list.
Very interesting. But at the same time, it's kind of like now it's been pulled over and it's kind of now it's a little less like on the outskirts of the Disney MCU and it's now a little more in because you remember at the beginning of Deadpool 2, he straight up takes a sack of cocaine, shoves it in his hood, punches himself in the face.
Yep.
I mean, it was great, but they were basically going balls to the wall and saying, what the fuck can we get away with? Let's just do it. Fuck it. But now there's some restrictions, and I would assume that there's probably been back and forth on, like, please. I mean, obviously, it'll be the first Marvel MCU movie that's going to have a Red Band trailer, which is a big deal. Was that the Red Band trailer?
I don't know.
They said fuck so many times. They definitely broke a record for having the most swears in a trailer.
My question would be: Is this going to go ahead and lead Disney to go ahead and make more mature content without saying adult content? Because that's not correct. Like, is it going to lead to them making more rated R content with some of their movies in that, which I think would be fantastic.
It would be. It would be a smart move.
Yeah. Expanding your viewer base, it would be huge.
Yeah. Because, I mean, now you mostly do Disney movies where it's like Disney are for the kids. But at the same time, the parents go, you get the money because the parents go because they're taking their kids. But at the same time, like, don't you want to have something that the parents can go on their own?
100%. 100%. I mean, that'd be fantastic. I mean, be like, hey, this is a Disney movie for adults.
Yeah. Or 3 dad friends can go watch the movie together and then do a live reaction outside.
Just saying.
The back of Duffy's trunk.
In the back of a car.
In the back of a car. With woods behind them.
All right. But no, I think this movie's going to be fantastic. I can't wait for it to come out. And if it comes down to 3 dads going ahead and doing another review with the back of a car, let's make it happen.
Dude, I'm fucking game. I don't know if my wife wants to see it, but I mean, I'll see it twice.
I'll see it twice too.
I'll see it twice.
No problem.
She's not going to want to go at like 9 o'clock at night on a Thursday.
Yep.
I will though.
Absolutely.
All right. Comes out in July. July what? July something.
I don't really recall.
July something. Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah. All right.
You heard it here first.
So that's all for that one. Let's see the next topic that we have. Before we hit that, I'll say, hey, don't forget, if you like daily content, follow us on Instagram at @random_channel. That's going right across the bottom right there. Follow us there. Daily content. We have 20 followers now. We actually reached 20, then went down to 19, then back up to 20.
Hell yeah.
So we're at 20.
Release date is going to be the 26th of July.
All right. 26th of July. Too late.
No.
Damn it. I want an early July. Whatever. I'll live. All right. The next thing we have Tarantino scraps his movie, The Film Critic. Basically says that was it supposed to be his 10th and final film?
Something like that, correct. Yep.
His 10th and final film was supposed to be The Film Critic, and he's been working on it for fucking ever. And suddenly just kind of came out and was like, yeah, we're not doing that shit anymore. And apparently has a better idea, I guess, and is going that route.
Well, great that he has a better idea. I mean, I'm on board, but I mean, I'm a big fan of Tarantino movies. I think a lot of people are, and I don't want him to stop making movies, but I mean, it is what it is, I hope it doesn't take forever for it to come out. I hope it has a fantastic story, and I hope it has at least something that's fantastic in it to see.
Well, the fantastic story will be a fucked up timeline jumping all over the place because that is the way Tarantino does shit, but he makes it work. I mean, but just to think of the things that he's done in the past, Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs. I mean, obviously the classics going back, but even newer stuff like Inglourious Bastards. I fucking love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
I love that movie, and he's not afraid to rewrite history and just say history adjacent. But you know what? We're going to show you people killing Hitler.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck it.
100%. I mean, I think From Dusk Till Dawn doesn't get enough credit for what it is.
It doesn't.
Right? I mean, a man who has a foot fetish literally has Selma Hayek pouring liquor down her leg into his mouth. And is like, no, we need another take. No, we need another take. I'm like, praise to you, sir. You get it. Nice work.
You can't do that shit these days, especially after Quiet on Set came out. Oh,
no shit.
Oh. People watching that, whether you're a kid or an adult, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's rough.
That shit. But I don't know much about the story. I feel like he hasn't really told many people about what the Film Critic was supposed to be about.
Right.
I'd have to imagine it was going to be good. He did Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, right?
That is correct.
That's him. Also, another great movie.
100%.
Rewriting history for no fucking reason.
I mean, it's so good, though.
Yeah, it is so good. And the ending is just unbelievable. Just absolutely. I mean, it's like that night goes from 0 to 120 in like a matter
second.
of 10 seconds. Unbelievable. It's great. So good. Oh, he's just so good. Yeah, so I don't know what it was about. He hasn't really, I feel like he hasn't said much. So many comments. We're doing a great job without him and Duggan. Glad that Duggan voted for not pushing the pod to Thursday and then no call, no showed. Oh, and he was just naming a small creature.
Small creatures, yeah.
Okay. Can't get smaller than a tardigrade.
Virtually indestructible. And you learn about them a great deal on a show called Octonauts.
Octonauts. My God. But, I mean, if he has a better idea than the Film Critic and he's going to run with it, I say go for it. I don't want it to be your final movie. I'd be more than happy for it to be your 10th movie. And then maybe the Film Critic will circle back around and we'll see it again. But who knows? At the same time, he's not the only guy. Wasn't there another director that recently was just like, yeah, that last movie I did, I'm fucking done. I don't want to do it anymore. Who was that guy?
I'm not sure. I know who you're talking about. Duffy would know this right off the top of his head because Duffy's big on this.
Yeah. But we have Google.
Yeah. Maybe Tarantino will stop going in and like directing movies, but he'll start going ahead and writing movies for Zack Snyder.
I'd be fine with that.
Yeah. So Zack Snyder can go ahead and direct them and Tarantino writes them. So that way you still get more and more Tarantino films that may or may not be.
But Tarantino would also have to produce and be in charge of cinematography and just be like, listen, you're allotted 2 slow motion scenes and a total of 15 seconds total for the both of them. Not 15 seconds each, total for the both of them. Yeah, I don't know who that guy is. I don't even know what to fucking search, but I saw that somewhere. I don't know if he was a director or producer or something, but he was just like, I'm fucking done. I'm getting too old. I'm too tired. I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to do it. So you're like, okay. But I think he was tied to a couple of pretty good things. So I'm like, oh, it's a shame. I like what you've done.
It's too bad then. That's what it comes down to. You know.
Yeah. But I'm hoping that Tarantino doesn't go that way.
No, I'm sure that Tarantino will go ahead and pump out that 10th film, and if he circles back around to this, that's great. But I'm sure he'll pump out that 10th film, and I'm sure it'll be something worth seeing, 100%.
Well, yeah, so I'll see it. It's Tarantino. He's on my list of directors where I'm like, oh, is Tarantino? Oh, I'll fucking see it. Although Scorsese's also on that film, and I still haven't had the 3.5 hours to watch The fucking Irishman yet.
Neither have I.
It's just too fucking long. Goddamn. All right, so we're going to shift gears a little bit on this next one. Let's get rid of that. We'll get rid of that, and then we're going to go to this, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to go... Oh,
oldie but a goodie.
Oldie but a goodie. And we do this. Oh man. All right. Wicked Bad movie review today.
Before we get into that,
Go.
Matt Garcia said Alex Garland talked about stop making movies after the Civil War.
That was it. That was him.
Thank you, Matt. I mean, clearly we were never going to get there.
We never were getting there. I was like, I feel like there was just something that just happened. But we're doing a Wicked Bad movie review of. I can't find it. I don't even know if Duffy added any of this shit in here for me to put up. We're doing a Wicked Bad movie review of Rebel Moon Part 2. Zack Snyder's newest release that came out last Friday. And I know I watched it. I know John watched it. And all I have to say is, what the fuck? What the actual fuck?
Can I sit there and say that I actually enjoyed it more than the first one? Right? I did, which is bizarre.
I mean, there were parts to it that, I mean, I'm not going to say he doesn't put out stuff that at times can be visually stunning.
Agreed.
But there is literally a fucking scene, a like 20-second slow-mo scene of Jimon Hansu filling a canteen in a barrel of water, and the view you're seeing is from the water's view. You're in the barrel, fucking looking up at him in just 20 seconds, slow motion, filling up his canteen.
Dude.
In the entire slow-mo farming thing. What was like the total time of the slow motion of that? Because it had to have been like 5 minutes.
I'm not 100% sure how long these slow-mos actually took inside this movie, right? But I made a comment to Duffy about this, is that I think the movie would have been a half an hour shorter if you took that shit out.
It would have been. And I said to you guys earlier, I guarantee you I could take the first and second movie, rearrange it, re-edit it, and come out with one really good 2-hour, 45-minute movie.
Sure, absolutely.
That had a decent story. I mean, like I said, the visual effects are great. I've said it before. I love the blaster bolts hitting walls and slag coming off and hitting people's slag coming off. But another design choice that I was like, what the fuck is the lens flare from these blaster bolts? Are we not supposed to be there? Why is there lens flare? Sometimes, but not all the time. Like, I'm standing there, but there is a safety glass between me and this battle that's going on.
Right.
It makes no fucking sense. So there's some weird things that happen. And then I also had the question of when, at the end, when the resistance comes in, they're flying those planes in, or spaceships, or whatever the fuck you want to call them. They're like talking, and it's like, human, random not human guy. And I'm like, wait a fucking second. Is this the one and only not human guy? And Duffy was like, no, the guy that wanted to get into Gunner's holes at the bar. He was not human looking.
Well, there was one other alien that was in that bar as well that was using like one of the people as like a mouth puppet as well.
That was like but that was an alien.
That was an alien. That's correct.
Yeah, that was like, it looked like his innards were on the outside and was using that guy. But then it was the
no bullshit, Dan.
Alien looking.
Like for space, there are 3 fucking aliens total that you see. That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Everybody else is human.
Yeah.
Which is bizarre.
And then there's Sir Anthony Hopkins.
Robot.
Yeah. Robot.
Automaton. Yeah. So
I'll be honest, I'm a little mad that he wasn't faster.
Really?
You know, like when he's standing there and like all of those space Nazis are like about to fight him and he kind of steps in after he takes that giant blast from whatever. I was just really hoping he was going to be like really fast.
So Duffy and I had discussions about this, right? Is that I understand he's supposed to be like really hard to kill, even like borderline impervious to a lot of shit. If that's the case, why do you have standard troops in general? Right? Now, they should have been able to conquer so many fucking things with these guys at that point, because there's an army of them, of Jameses or Jimmies or whatever they call them, right? But there's an army of these fucking guys. right?
Hey,
And they all
isn't that derogatory, Jimmy?
I know. It's supposed to be, yeah.
Yeah, no. Okay.
Yeah.
Continue.
The space Nazis call him Jimmy's, but he goes by James. And that's they call him James. Right. But like they stopped fighting because the emperor and his daughter and the wife are all like disposed of by
Which we finally get to see,
right, and
along with the backstory of everybody else.
it's very Caesar, which is crazy to me, right?
Yeah.
Like et tu brute Caesar, right? You know, and it's great, I guess, to see that, but like it's like not like you didn't see that shit coming a mile away, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
the exposition dump of everybody's backstory all at the same time, fucking awful. It's horrible to watch.
2 questions. Number 1, when she killed that girl, he was saying, well, first of all, what was that fucking face? That was like that dude was like a face wearing another person's face.
I thought it was one of the Corys. Like I think it's Corey Feldman. Kind of looked like Corey Feldman to me. No, like it's not, but it kind of looks like
he did not look human.
No.
It was weird. But he's like, do it. And then she finally pulls the trigger and he's like, what have you done? And I'm like, what was it? Like, I could understand if like it was a thing behind you and like you just gave a look and you're like, we talked about this before, you need to do it. And then she shoots, and then it's like, what have you done? And turns everybody against him. Like, you were literally standing there telling her to do it. And now all of a sudden you're like, murderer!
Well, everybody was fucking standing there watching her do it, right? And then he sits there, he puts on this act. I'm like, who the fuck are you acting for? Yeah. Everybody's in on it here.
Everybody saw everything. Everybody's in on it. The only people that didn't are like the 4 guys that when she kills the 2 that try to detain her, takes one of their guns, kicks the doors open, and just shoots 4 guys and fucking leaves. And they're like, the fuck did I do? I don't know. Now I'm dead.
Well, and the fact that she shoots the girl, right? She's like, I forgive you, right? Or whatever, right? And she shoots her, and all of a sudden you have this light go boop, right? And you're like, what the fuck is that? What are we? Nothing? No? Again, we're not going to explain that. All right.
Nope. See, you have to wait till Rebel Moon Part 3 for that one.
Can't wait.
It's there are good ideas, there are bad ideas, and
there's Zack Snyder ideas.
it's not well put together.
It's not. So I want to go in and touch base on Nemesis as a character, right? So you go ahead.
The one with the metal hands?
Yes, the one with the metal hands, right?
Oh, I have.
Where her village is destroyed. Her village is destroyed, and her ancestors give her the strength to cut off her own fucking arms, right, and attach metal hands. I go, okay, all right, I'll believe the fantasy that your ancestors were like, she won't do it, you know. And then you look at the fact that her character is a complete waste of fucking time, right? She's supposed to be this awesome swordswoman, right, who takes on this giant Spider Woman in the first movie. Right. And she handles that shit masterfully. Right. Very, very little difficulty for what she sees. But 3 dudes come in, right, to a fucking Viking by a space village. Right. And she can't handle them, loses an arm, and they get to run through her kidney area with a laser sword or a lightsaber, if you will. Right. Allegedly. Right.
Yeah.
It's a wound that could be lethal. And I'm not saying it couldn't be. Right. But like, it's 100% not a thing that you're going to die from right off the bat, and she just fucking drops dead from it.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense.
I had 2 issues with that fight scene. Number 1, again, to kind of echo what you just said, she's supposed to be this amazing swordswoman. And I saw at least like 10 times during the fight where she could have killed at least one of these fucking guys, but she was just doing and then taking a step back, and he's like, oh. And the other issue is you had women and children in there, and they were all fucking armed, and they did nothing.
Except for that one kid.
They pulled out their fucking popcorn and said, "She's got this handled."
Except
we're
for that
just
one
gonna
kid.
hide behind these tables.
That one kid with the small, like little fucking kitchen knife, and was like, "Ha!"
And the biggest issue I have with that is that he didn't stab that dude in the dick.
Yeah.
Upper thigh, okay, fine, but you don't know where the femoral artery is. You didn't know what you were doing. You should have stabbed him right in the fucking dick.
Yeah.
Because that would be great. And then she pulls it out and stabs him in the throat. I mean, everybody loved the dick stab in fucking Deadpool and Wolverine. Who didn't like that dick stab? Everybody liked it.
That was great. Everybody loved it.
Yeah. Everybody would have loved it. But instead, no. In fucking long hair Prince guy, the fuck was that hat? What was that hat?
Dude, there's so many problems with that character alone. It's not even funny.
No. Right? It's like like he had this hat. He was like, "My dad's dead. He gave me this hat. I accidentally sat on it, but I'm still gonna fucking wear it. And I'm gonna stand here and watch my mom kill herself."
Oh shit. Right? And you get to watch one of those fucking dreadnoughts smash through a building in the background. Just rams it. Right?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought you had these giant cannons on your ship, by the way. That you could just pop a hole in things. Right? You just ramming buildings for no fucking reason.
I don't even know like why you would really fucking break the atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, I mean, then you had the fucking birds, the hippogriffs or the griffins that were just flying through the entire area.
Yeah.
I was like, all right,
shut up. We're gonna pull your guns off. We pulled your gun off. You can't shoot us. Well, I'm gonna drive my fucking spaceship into your building. It's like, okay.
All right, but let's talk about that guy's fight scenes. That guy's fight scenes were fucking garbage. He gets Iron Age tools, right? Iron Age axes, right? He's hitting spacemen, right? Which have battle armor, which apparently does nothing. It's very stormtrooper armor.
Yeah,
right?
I was just gonna say stormtrooper armor.
But he's not breaking any of their fucking armor with these things. He's literally delivering blunt force trauma that's killing them, which is bizarre.
Yep.
And then he goes ahead and
axe. Okay, maybe the axe. Maybe. If you hit the right spot.
Yep.
But then he's hitting axe and the guy's flipping up on his back and then he's taking the back of the axe and he's slow motion coming back down on him and the guy's hitting the ground. Dead. No.
I mean, let's take where he takes the back of the axe, which doesn't have a sharp edge to it, and he cuts a dude's fucking throat with it. And you go, what are you doing? You don't have, like, that dude's not dead. You just basically gave him a really bad rash.
Yep. I think the best thing that happened is like 3/4 of the way through the big battle is he's just like, fuck it, throws him down and picks up a gun. And I'm like, okay, finally you realize that you're not going to be able to do jack shit with this. You're just not going to be able to.
Well, let's talk the fact that those troopers from the Nazi regime there, the space Nazis, did they not go to the fucking range? They didn't hit anything.
No.
At all. And you're like, those guys were standing on a bridge out in the fucking open, right? What the fuck, man?
I mean, how? It's fucking it's knockoff Star Wars.
That's 100%.
It is knockoff Star Wars. It is, and it's poorly put together. The story is garbage. The acting is garbage.
Yep.
The effects are pretty good.
Yeah.
I'll give that. I will give that. But it's
so bad.
I don't understand how people like it.
It's so fucking bad. You know?
And
you got James, robot druid, who does a Superman drop down to one knee with his flowing cloak, right? As he jumps out of the tank, he blows up with a grenade, right? And you go, are you fucking kidding me, Zack Snyder? You're really going to be a call back to another superhero pose? Jesus Christ.
And then he's just like, okay, bye. Just fucking leaves. He's done. And another thing that really fucking pissed me off. what's her face? I don't even know what her fucking name is. The Scar Giver herself.
Yeah.
The Scar Giver herself. She's in that fucking cave with the waterfall. Okay, because that's where she hides the ship.
The ship.
Right?
Yep.
And then James shows up, and he's like, "You cannot meet them. I'm Anthony Hopkins."
Yep.
Did you notice that the fucking waterfall behind him was in slow motion the entire fucking time? Every time you saw him.
No, I didn't. I
fucking slow motion.
The
entire waterfall just.
That's astonishing.
Fucking slowly going.
Now, I tell you what really blew my mind, right, is how advanced these people are, right? How advanced technology they have, right? And the big gun on the dreadnought, how they put it into position is with the old fucking cranks. The guy's cranking along, and I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? I was like, I didn't realize this was World War fucking II.
We're building up a dramatic climax.
Dude, he's sitting there just cranking it along, and I'm like,
and they're only doing one axis at a time too. At least in World War II, you had guys in the fucking submarines turning 5 different things at once, getting stuff ready.
You were like, what are you doing, man?
Tiny little one looking through his little scope. Almost there.
Almost got it.
25 more full rotations of my tiny crank, and then we'll have the x-axis correct, and then I'll have to move to the y-axis. Okay, here we go.
Dude, it was the most bizarre thing to put it in a fucking movie ever.
Yeah.
I
just kept going back to it.
Yeah.
Kept going back to it. Things were happening. Going back to the little man with the crank.
The only thing I found to be like, well, yeah, the only thing. The other thing I found to be bizarre, and I think Kevin brought it up as well, was the fact that as she's putting the grenades or the charges on the core, right? All of a sudden, its fucking eyes light up, like it's an actual head.
Yeah, and then nothing else happens.
And nothing is brought up about that. It's not explained. Nothing. You're like, what the fuck is that?
And why did she not hide them?
Right? Why did the soldiers who came into that fucking room not see them immediately when they were walking in?
Right. And then, to go back to that room, she kills that one guard. Why did she throw him down into the pit and then go down and jump after him?
Right?
Fucking go out the way you came. Fucking leave. They won't know. They won't know what the fuck happened. Instead, you said, all right, fuck it. Let's jump down into this pit and just start throwing guys into furnaces.
Dude, she goes ahead and she gets off the elevator again, fight scene, the hallway fight scene. None of those guys, none of those troopers shoot a single fucking shot at her as she comes off the elevator. She shoots everybody, right? Those guys don't shoot her at all.
I think
bizarre.
They had a Tim Allen moment. They saw her and they just went, They had no idea. They said, wait, is this the person we're supposed to be killing? I heard it was a lady, but I didn't think it was that lady.
Yes, it's so bad.
And then why couldn't she hold the dude's sword?
I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% on that. I don't know if it was like an electric shock thing, or if it burned her, if it's super hot, right?
Was he wearing gloves?
Yes, he is wearing gloves. So it's got to be something that, like, maybe it's a shock thing, maybe it's a plasma thing. I'm not 100%. It's never really.
There are other laser swords that people handle without gloves on.
I think so. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on that. I'd have to go back and watch it again, and I'm reluctant to do so.
Because she was just like, she took a fucking hot microwave burrito out of the microwave without.
Yeah, she just wraps cloth around it. Yeah. And she goes ahead and wraps cloth around it. She's like, yeah, it's good to go.
Fucking Joe Pesci in Home Alone was hurt more from the red hot doorknob than she was from that fucking laser sword handle.
No shit. You know?
Oh my god, I just remembered another thing. Fucking Dreadnought breaks the atmosphere. They're like, bong, bong. She's like, oh, fuck. Let me cut my hair real quick.
No.
Let me slow-mo cut my hair real quick.
Fucking Christ. Yeah.
Why? And I mean, the shit that made it into this movie, I would hate to see what the Snyder cut of either of these fucking movies would actually turn out to be. The amount of random slow-mo shit that is happening, you'd add fucking 45 minutes to an hour back in of just
I'm going to be honest.
garbage.
I kind of want to see the Snyder cuts to see how much fucking worse it could possibly be.
I mean, could you imagine if it was actually better? Could you imagine if these were actually the Snyder cuts?
Oh God! if they sat there and they're like, "Oh, it's better with the Snyder cuts," I'd be like, "Jesus Christ! How? Why did you cut it down to
who
this?"
would be saying that?
All the Snyder boys, everybody that Kevin fights with online.
Is that what we call them? Are they Snyder boys? Snyder heads?
This is a good question. We have to come up with a name for the Snyder Snyder crew.
We need to coin a term for the people that blindly follow Zack Snyder's work. Zack Snyder's doo-doo.
Oh God.
You know, we'll brainstorm that one, and we will in fact post it on our Instagram at @random_channel when we decide what it is. So give us a follow on there if you're interested on what we come up with. Because
I also recommend anybody who goes ahead and is watching or watches the clips of these as we go ahead and put them out. Right? If you, I encourage you to comment on these and sit there. And if you have a suggestion where you think that would be great for us calling the people who follow Zack Snyder blindly,
or if it's something that already actually exists and we just don't know about it,
please do. Please let us know.
Yeah, we want to know. We want to use it.
Yeah. But basically, I mean, how many tower reads would you give this movie?
That's not the ratings that we go off of. But I mean, I don't know what Sharknado's Tara Reid has been in, but the most.
Would you put this above or below Roadhouse?
The new one?
Yeah.
I liked the new Roadhouse.
You're so full of shit.
No, I did. I told you I watched it twice.
I know.
And I would watch it a third time. The acting is terrible, especially Conor McGregor, but I mean, it was fun enough.
I'd sit there and say that this is a shit sandwich. I would not go ahead and recommend people watch this. Like anybody who's been following the ratings on this particular movie for Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, right, has realized that this movie is just one of the worst fucking movies apparently ever made.
So on a scale of fuck me, it's actually good, just kind of meh, or wicked bad, you would give it a what?
Wicked bad.
I would also give it a wicked bad. Stamped wicked bad. I believe there's supposed to be a picture of the movie poster there, but we don't have it. So wicked bad, that's right. The official rating from Wicked Bad Movie Reviews for Rebel Moon Part 2, The Scargiver, is wicked bad. Oh God.
It's gonna be hard to top that. I mean, it's like I think it's got like a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's fucking bad.
From critics or from it has to be higher than 14% from the viewers, because
look it up. I'm pretty sure it's like 14% across the board. I think that's the high.
Snyder knots?
Yeah, the Snyder knots.
I don't know. We're just trying stuff now. Rotten Tomatoes. Let's see. Does it even show up in the top thing? Civil War is 81%. Hot damn. 15%. Holy shit! 15% from critics. So that's a tomato meter, and then the audience score is 53%.
Get the fuck out of here! There's no way it's 53% for this fucking movie.
It's the Snidely whiplashes.
The Snidely whiplashes.
They go in before they even see the movie and say, Zack Snyder can do no wrong.
So bullshit. That
is a masterpiece. Bullshit. I have not seen it, but it is masterpiece.
The critics have got that right. That's so bad.
What hold on, we'll take a look and see what Rebel Moon Part 1 is looking at. Rebel Moon Part 1. Did you know that it was called A Child of Fire?
No.
Neither did I. Apparently it is. Slightly better. 21% critics, 57% viewer.
Dude, I don't know how the fuck he's getting above 50%. That doesn't make any sense.
It's a shit sandwich.
I agree. It's awful.
That's 2 hours, 45 minutes, 3 hours.
Yeah.
Then I'm never going to get back.
I'm never going to get back.
I literally went in half hour through and I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
I've watched a lot of bad movies in my time, right? And I pride myself on watching some real dog shit movies, right? And I can sit there and tell you that there are movies out there I would prefer to watch over this that I thought were fucking terrible.
Dude, I would watch Highlander 5 times again. Watch this one more time.
Yeah, no, it's unnecessary backflips. Go.
No reason. Ah! All right. I think I have to switch back to the correct brand. Oh wait, no, it has an outro. Okay. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have an outro. All right, so we'll do the other outro. Okay. So thank you to those who tuned in, and apologies for. I mean, we'll try and find Duggan to make sure that he's okay, and hopefully he'll be back Thursday with Duffy. Just those two. We took today. They're taking Thursday for some foosball thing. I guess it's a draft.
Yeah, some kind of draft. I think it's the NFL draft, actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
The National Football League.
That's correct.
My favorite team. Yeah. My favorite team, the NFL. Yeah. So they'll be on doing live things for that. So like, subscribe, turn on that notification so you can be notified when Duffy and Duggan are going to be on here talking about the devil, aka foosball, on Thursday.
We'll just leave it at the devil.
Yeah. Or every other Thursday when we do a normal podcast where we usually talk about dumb shit like this. So we thank you for joining us. We'll see you next time. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Random Channel for daily content. Until next time.